Sir?
It's a murder scene.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got called Sergeant Garner.
Okay.
He's sending Nick and Rachel.
Okay.
Where's the...
She's in back.
All right. So where's the body?
So,
in there?
Yeah, if you step up on the third ladder out there and step, you can take your head on your seat.
Up here?
Yeah.
Stepped in further, and I could see the rest of the body, and then I realized the patient did not have a head.
It happened this morning.
Who told you?
Jared. And he has been acting really strange lately. He called an ambulance on himself the other night. Said he was on drugs, but I don't believe that he was. I think something's wrong.
When Rodney and Lynn Dicus went to check on their daughter-in-law, Angie, one afternoon before heading to work, they never expected to find her decapitated head in a bathtub. The rest of her brutalized body is in the bedroom, and the entire home she shares with their youngest son is covered in blood. Rodney and Lynn feared that only one person could be to blame, but they never could have expected the senseless reason behind it, or that the truth would expose years of violence happening right under their noses.
I didn't do it. you can't even keep a straight face, buddy.
Police first became aware that something was terribly wrong at the Dicus house at approximately 4:20 p.m. on January 11th, 2023, when they received a frantic 911 call from Rodney Dicus. Local law enforcement is already familiar with the family, but as soon as officers get a look at the crime scene, they'll realize that this is nothing like what they've encountered here before.
It's a murder scene.
Sir?
It's a murder scene.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got called Sergeant Garner.
Okay.
He's sending Nick and Rachel.
Okay.
Where's the...
She's in back.
All right. So where's the body?
So,
in there?
Yeah, if you step up on the third ladder out there and step, you can take your head on your seat.
Up here?
Yeah.
Stay right here, Earl. Nobody goes in there.
By the time police arrived, EMS had already been inside, not yet realizing this was a crime scene. But one look at the blood left them certain of two things. One, this was a murder. And two, there was nothing they could do for the victim.
The front door was open. There looked to be like a towel on the floor and pink socks from what I could originally see. As I began to step up the steps, I could see underneath the towel looked like blood. It looked like there was some blood on the floor as well. The desk immediately to the right of me when I walked in the door looked like it had a computer on it, and as I looked around the desk I could see her feet. One was underneath the bed, the other one was underneath the bed, but it looked like they had a makeshift bed with like 4 cinder blocks and a piece of plywood, and both legs were kind of straddling the one.
Bloody footprints lead further into the residence. When the crime scene unit arrives, they follow the path deeper into the house, past more blood spatter and signs of a desperate struggle.
Stepped in further, and I could see the rest of the body, and then I realized the patient did not have a head.
The bloody footprints lead to the bathroom, where they make a horrific discovery: the victim's severed head. The suspected knife used in the decapitation is found on the way out in a pool of blood, but the police still don't know who the victim is or what could have possibly led someone to carry out such a vicious attack. There are 4 family members on scene, and the police turn to them for answers, but they're completely unprepared for the twisted theory they present, which will change the whole course of the case.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Deputy Lewis. I think I've talked to you at the door here a while back about maybe some dogs or something. No, your son's truck. Remember
that
I
was
come
you?
knocking on your door one morning and said, hey, you know where that
Yeah.
truck's at? Could I get your name, please, ma'am?
Lynn,
Ms. Dicus, what's the lady's name?
Anggy. Anggy is how she spelled it.
Last name?
Well, she was married. They got married, so Dicus. I don't know that her other names. She had other
How long
names.
they been married?
Since September 21st, I think.
Of 22?
Yes.
This is Lynn Dicus. She lives here with her husband, Rodney, and their two sons, Wayne and Jared. Wayne lives in the main house with his parents, but 21-year-old Jared moved into the smaller house at the back of the property after he married Anggy mere months ago, the same house where the headless female body was just discovered. Combined with something else that happened this morning, Lynn fears that the only one who could be responsible for the bloody scene is her youngest son.
He told me it happened this morning. I
Who
asked
told you?
Jared.
Okay.
And he has been acting really strange lately.
Okay.
He called an ambulance on himself the other night
Okay.
and said he was on drugs, but I don't believe that he was. I think something's wrong.
Okay.
Jared is currently detained in the back seat of one of the squad cars. When the first responders arrived, he was sitting on the ground at the end of the driveway, his father, Rodney, beside him. Chillingly, all he would say over and over was, "I need help."
Visit for a second. I got a question when you got time.
Yes, sir. Stay right there. Yes, sir. You got it. He's not gonna do nothing. He's
Okay, no.
harmless.
Okay. Miss Angie, do you know what her last name was before she and your brother got married?
What's Angie's last name? Do you know?
Sure.
Her maiden last
I
name.
don't know that.
I don't know.
Okay. How about a date of birth?
Here's her phone.
Here, let me see. Let me get her phone.
Let me.
It's all
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
Spanish, so I don't know.
Here. I don't want to touch this either. Here. So I don't want fingerprints on it. Like, you know.
This is Jared's older brother, Wayne. He has a history of drug use, and the police know him well. But today, they can't help but notice that he's awfully calm, despite the horrific implications of what might have happened to his sister-in-law. But his strange demeanor is offset by how helpful he's been, and the police aren't sure what to make of it.
Yeah, I just know she worked over there. I know she was not here.
Where'd she work?
Chepis Meat Market.
The Cheppies?
That's where they met, yeah. I know she's here, you know.
Did she still work at Cheppies?
Yeah. I know she's not really a legal citizen, you know. I'm just saying.
I don't
that's
care.
No, I don't care either. I mean,
Okay.
She's family, man.
Okay.
How you been?
Good. I was telling your mama, I think the last time I was here, your brother's truck was broke down or out of gas or something.
That was my
It was yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, yours.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, broke down and run out of gas, and I just making sure nobody stole it.
Yeah.
Okay.
How you doing? Yeah, how's it going?
The police will be keeping a close eye on Wayne, since he seems so strangely unbothered by the decapitation. As they do, the officers compare notes and start to put the pieces together.
You didn't want this attendance shift.
Sir?
You didn't want this attendance shift.
Well, I hate it happened. They said that the deceased lady and old boy that's in the back seat of Dion's car got married last September.
Mm-hmm.
And all they know is her name is Anggy, Anggy. But she works at Cheppies, or worked at Cheppies. So they could ID her if there's nothing in there. And that's pretty much it. I didn't ask mama or brother a whole lot. He's been acting funny lately, and he told me it happened this morning.
Really? Hey, can you move up Central?
Finally, detectives arrive on the scene. They're seriously behind having only arrived after the action concluded. But the first responders on scene give them a recap of the gory details.
Is there water in the bathtub?
There's a couple of shampoo and a conditioner bottle and a razor laying in the bathtub neatly by her head. I don't know why, but
Did he wash her
that
hair?
was strange. I have no idea. But she's in the action area.
What time is it?
As the detectives take over control of the scene, they realize that Jared and Wayne's father, Rodney, still hasn't been talked to. But when one of them approaches him, he likely doesn't suspect just how relieved Rodney will be to see a familiar face.
Mr. Dicus, Randy Lewis, you remember me? Okay, I just need to get a little, I'm basically just identifying folks here.
Yes, sir.
Judge, okay.
Rodney has been dealing with this police detective for years. For almost a decade, he's been fighting to help keep his eldest son, Wayne, clean and sober. But somehow, Wayne keeps getting back into meth, and that continuously brings the police to the Dicus door. Today, in the midst of his worst nightmare, the rapport Rodney has with this department is likely a godsend. But as more detectives flood onto his property, they're about to hit the upper limit of what he'll tolerate.
We'd like to ask for your consent to go into the house.
Into my house?
Yes.
No.
Okay, without, we're going to get a search warrant.
JR's right there. Talk to him.
Okay.
What do you need to go into my house for?
Isn't that where the body's at?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's a back house. This
Okay.
is a back house. I've got 9 dogs in there.
I apologize. I was told.
No.
I apologize. I
Well,
was
you
told
don't
it
have
was
to
in the
talk to me and
house.
start threatening me with God warrant. That's not needed. It's not necessary.
Sir, I was asking for your consent,
And I told you no.
and I was going under the impression that the body was inside the house.
All right.
So-
Are we good?
You tell me, are we
I
good?
am. I
Okay, then.
apologize to you.
Can we get your consent to go into the house behind you?
Most definitely can. Of
Okay,
course
thank
can.
you very much.
It's just you can't. I've already been told I can't go in my house, and you're going to go in my house. You're going to have to shoot my goddamn dogs to get in that house, and it's not going to happen.
We're trying to figure out what's going on here.
All right, that's why I'm getting
That's
upset.
all we're
If
doing.
you want to go in that house, I'll let you in that house, but you've got to send somebody in there with me to secure my dogs. Y'all ain't killing my dogs.
We have no intention of killing your dog.
That's why I'm getting upset.
So we have no intention of causing any more harm here tonight. Get to the
Trying to
bottom
be
of what's
good.
going on here.
All right,
That's
you
all
have
we're
my
trying to do.
permission.
So can I get you the information, please, your name?
814.
That's all we're asking for.
I know, but
165.
it's just.
We have a procedure we
misunderstood.
have to follow, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, I want you to know why I said no.
The police prepare to search both residences, but they don't get the chance. Before they even get a glimpse of the murder scene, another vehicle arrives, and it's not someone who's supposed to be here.
So that's suspects. Yeah, no. Go to suspects, parents. Go to grandparents.
Hang on. That's the suspect's grandparents?
Yeah. So her parents. That's mom's parents. Okay. And that's his sister with him.
Dad said he was what?
He was texting the daughter. He was texting his daughter. So
Oh, okay.
That's the reason why.
That's why they're here.
So
Okay.
this is his phone.
I'm sorry, I don't hear.
The lead detective sends out the order to confiscate the phones of everyone in the family. This should have been done right away. But in the wake of such a gruesome scene, it seems protocol slipped through the cracks. All they can do now is to prevent further information leaks.
This one's yours, ma'am? Blue astronaut? No, ma'am.
No, this is just.
No, ma'am. This is just standard.
This is just so nothing gets out, because we've already had somebody pull
we
up here that.
dismounted.
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
we've already got people pulling up that have already heard about it, so that's what we're just trying to prevent anything else from getting out, so we can do a proper investigation. That's all it is. We're not looking through the phones or any of that.
Until investigators get to the bottom of this, they can't rule anyone out fully. But Rodney, Lynn, and Wayne seem oddly convinced that Jared must be to blame. But he's completely calm, almost to an eerie degree, considering his wife's grisly demise.
Randy Lewis, you remember me?
Yes, sir.
You okay?
Yes, sir.
Jared, would you mind giving me the passcode to your phone? It's supposed to be a 6-digit code.
Before the detectives get a chance to look at any of the phones, they're distracted yet again. It turns out that the Dicus relatives aren't the only ones who heard the news. When Angie's uncle, Irvin, pulls up at the scene, the detectives determine they can't keep going like this. They need to take everyone down to the police station for questioning. In order to understand the terrible events of the day, they plan to go back to the very beginning. The detectives want to know everything about the relationship between Jared and Anggy, but they don't want to talk to Jared just yet. If he's truly behind the gruesome events of the day, they only want to face him once they know as much of the truth as possible. With that in mind, they turn to Rodney and Lynn, who have watched the relationship between Jared and Anggy grow since the very beginning.
And when did they move into that little house?
Shortly after that.
Okay. When did they get married?
September 21st, 22.
I thought that it was a pretty cool relationship because every time you heard them two, they were laughing. And her laugh was just something special. It was just pretty cool. Pretty cool to hear that little girl laugh. And it just seemed like every time they were laughing.
But no relationship is perfect all the time, so the police press Lynn for some of the details that might not be so pleasant.
There's only been like one incident that I witnessed, and she had Snapchatted someone in either Nicaragua or somewhere, and then deleted it because she didn't want Jared to see it. She even texted me afterwards and said she was sorry, she deleted that person.
The police have to wonder what Anggy might have been trying to hide by deleting the message, and why she didn't want Jared to see it. They'll keep this question in mind when they talk to Angie's friends and co-workers. But first, Rodney has another interesting tidbit to share.
He had some problems with alcohol. Not problems with alcohol, but when he would go out with his friends or something, that was a problem because he would drink too much.
Right.
But on a day-to-day basis, he didn't drink.
That will later come into question. But Lynn raises a more immediate concern about Jared's behavior when she mentions something Wayne saw the last day.
Wayne said that he, I don't know if it was this morning or last night, but he found Jared on Riley's dog bed, curled up, laying down on the dog bed in his room.
In the main house?
Yes.
Okay.
So far, nothing the detectives have learned seems to point to Jared as a cold-blooded killer, but they're increasingly convinced that something is off about him. More will be unearthed in due time. But first, they want to know more about Anggy. Her uncle Irvin was like a father figure to her ever since she came to the U.S. from Nicaragua. When she first arrived, Anggy moved in with Irvin and his wife. Right away, he said Anggy started going out of her way to do her part for the family.
A very energetic and a soul. She was always, Uncle, teach me how to ride the lawnmower, I'll do it for you. And she was always, she always had that initiative of doing something for the house because she felt grateful that she was living with us. But in a way, she felt like I can't put so much weight on your shoulder, Uncle. I gotta help you somehow.
Irvin also said Anggy was always very respectful. She never brought over guests without permission and never argued. She told him when she was going out and who she was meeting. When she eventually moved out to help support her two brothers when they immigrated, he was sad to see her go. Shortly after that, Anggy told him she met Jared. At first, he was excited, but noted that the couple definitely had their ups and downs.
After they met, that it was after they got married, that he finally came home. and we met him, and he showed he was a very respectful young person, well dressed, decent dressed, always clean, would always shake our hand, and he was very quiet though. That's one thing. He was very quiet, so we were making our jokes, and I was the only one that could translate everything. But sometimes I would get distracted, and I would stop translating everything what was going on to him, and I think he felt uncomfortable, and he stood up and said, "Excuse me, I gotta go." I could notice that he got not mad, uncomfortable.
After today, though, that interaction threatens to haunt Irvin. And in hindsight, that's not the only thing that stands out about their relationship. After they'd been together for a while, Irvin noted that Jared started video calling Anggy almost incessantly, and he would get angry if she didn't answer. Then, Angie's community of online friends began to dwindle. Now he suspects this could have been a result of a toxic, overbearing relationship. But as much as he now regrets it, Irvin didn't feel like there was anything he could do.
Kind of possessive, dominant relationship, but on a way, I was just uncle, and she was married, and I knew that I needed to step back a little. As much as I wanted to interfere in the relationship, I just couldn't, because I had to respect. There were boundaries, They were both adults already.
Irvin isn't the only member of Angie's family that the police will talk to, however. His wife, Iris, also comes down to the police station.
Everybody understand, Angie, always be happy.
Did you notice any change in her behavior after the marriage?
¿Usted notó algún cambio en la actitud de Angie después de que se casó? Sí. No me respondía los mensajes luego.
She would not respond to her message immediately.
Tenía que decirle varias veces Angie,
to where Jared grabbed her clothes and threw it out and said, "Leave." So she grabbed her clothes and said, "I'm going to leave. I did not tell you to do all of this." And what she was referring to is, she said Jared spent a lot of money fixing up the place that they were living in.
Y le dijo ella, "Yo no te pedí que pasara."
This was the conflict Lynn mentioned, but Iris knows more. Apparently, Angie was so upset with Jared that almost 2 weeks ago, on December 31st, she packed her things and left. But when Lynn begged her to come back on her son's behalf, she agreed. It seems like everyone assumed the couple had worked things out. It seems like a ridiculously small motive for such a terrible crime. But the detectives have to wonder if maybe this recent argument, paired with another conflict that day, could have caused Jared to snap and to do the unthinkable. But the real reason the police eventually uncover is far, far stranger. When they talked to one of Angie's brothers, William, who also accepted the help of an interpreter, he also suspected that there was more going on between Jared and Angie than either of them let on.
I asked him if they had any problems or between the two, and that he ever asked her, and he said yes. But that when she answered yes, she no dio detalles. No, she never did.
Back with Angie's uncle, Irvin, he tells detectives that the biggest change in the relationship had actually been recent, after one of Angie's other family members was outed for infidelity.
But when this happened, kind of awakened his fear of, "You're gonna end up doing this to me." She stated that statement before, that he was afraid that Angie was gonna do the same thing what Lady did to him. So he kind of awakened that monster. He's like, "You're gonna..."
Despite Irvin's statement, the police can't help but think jealousy is a comparatively small motive for the extent of the violence Anggy faced. And sure enough, when they ask Irvin if there was anything else that could have twisted the relationship, he remembers something else. Anggy had lent a relative some money who refused to pay her back. When Jared got wind of what happened, things only got worse.
After that, is that they got on a physical argument, and Lady beat her bad.
Lady beat Anggy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad. And to the point that she was bleeding all over her face, and she screamed for help, and nobody helped her. And these are they started texting Lady and calling her, sending her voice messages saying that I'm gonna kill you.
Really?
Yeah. So those are like threats, like the big threats. I mean, I can understand how upset you are, but you don't call someone telling them how you're gonna kill them. Okay, I can, I was upset too. I didn't want her to kill no one. I wanted her to get arrested or even deported, but not killed. He insisted to file a warrant or a report against Lady, and he did not want her to do it because at the end of the day, she said it's family, and
So she never did?
Itis also recalls the incident, but she has something even better. Hard evidence of the type of threats Jared was capable of.
Any of these other really good pictures of her? I would like of her happy at Disney World and stuff.
Dice que si usted le pudiera mandar también las otras fotos donde Angie sale alegre. Las puede buscar si gusta, o yo se las envío, las que me quieran. You and your man, bitch, and then you give me the rest of my hair, I'll come for it, I'll find you that bitch. I can't wait, that's the same thing, I can't wait to see you. In person. Yeah. Él estaba defendiendo a su esposa. So she takes it as he was defending Angie. Y yo lo vi bien porque.
But something doesn't make sense. If Jared was upset with Angie about not reporting the attack, why would he turn around and hurt her himself?
That kind of built that attitude on him already, like he was fed up of these issues or awakening the monster he was within him. But I just thought it was important for you.
When's the last time you saw Angie?
3 days before she got murdered. She even texted me. We'd always.
Frustratingly, the more the police learn, the less sense the case seems to make. All of Jared's previous outbursts appear to be overprotecting Angie, rather than being directed towards her. But when the police reach out to Angie's friends and co-workers, they'll quickly realize that this might not be the full truth. It seems Anggie didn't tell her family everything, just like her brother said. Angie's co-workers at Sheep's reveal that they knew Jared as Rojo, a nickname they gave him because of his red hair. According to them, things changed quickly for Anggie once he came into her life.
When she met Rojo, at the beginning, she was normal. During the time of their wedding, it was very quiet.
At first, Angie's friend Wilbur thought getting married had caused her to mature and grow more reserved. But now, he thinks there might have been something much more sinister behind the change in her behavior. And he isn't the only one. Another one of Angie's friends has a theory about the relationship. Jared and Angie got married in record time, having dated for less than a year. But one friend suspects the whirlwind romance might have just been motivated by love.
She's saying she had an accident, and she believes that they were trying to deport her, and that was one of the reasons why they got married quickly. She said that She's telling Angie that, take your time, respect each other, know each other, because she's had friends that got married and had problems.
Allegedly, Jared tried to take the blame for the accident to draw attention away from Angie, since she was undocumented. But even then, there was something off. The police connected with Angie's previous landlord, who recounted her frustration with Jared in the wake of the accident.
He don't let me help her. He said he's going to do everything. He won't do anything.
So Jared said he was going to do everything but didn't? Or?
Yes, because she coming back and she said, oh no, he said he's going to help me with that. He said he's going to take care of that stuff. He didn't do anything.
It now appears that Jared became more possessive, and according to one coworker, even suggested Angie quit her job at Sheep's. Jared gave a reason, but all of Angie's coworkers assumed he just wanted more control over her. But Ruth, Angie's boss, provides one more piece of the puzzle that finally starts to bring the story together.
You want to work and you want to
Tenían un problema bien complicado porque Jared trabajaba de noche.
And that had a problem that was complicated because Jared worked at night.
Y ella trabajaba pues de día.
And she worked
Entonces él trabajaba.
But as time went on, Ruth noticed bruises on Angie. She never wanted to talk about it, but everyone suspected this was Jared's doing.
He saw on the last day he saw her, which was Monday, he had one here by the nariz.
Sí,
aquí. By the right cheek area and then right shoulder. She was telling her sister Ruth that she was going to move back with the brothers on Tuesday.
According to Ruth, her decision was made after a terrifying conflict with Jared that rendered her unable to ignore the rising threat to her safety.
And they'd been arguing, and then when she got out of the shower, she was assaulted by the husband.
Ruth says Angie told her that as she was getting out of the shower, Jared rushed her and abruptly slammed her head into the side of the shower. That, Ruth says, is when she became truly frightened for Angie's continued well-being. She was relieved by what she found out next.
She wasn't going to live that way either, and that she was going to separate.
Okay. So she didn't technically tell him that she was moving out. She told him she wasn't going to live like that and told her, I'm going to leave him, basically.
Pero la pregunta es que si ella también le dijo al esposo.
Sí.
She said yes.
Hauntingly, Angie made this confession that day before her violent death. The last thing she said to Ruth was that she hadn't told Jared yet. She wanted him to calm down first, but she was going to tell him that night. That was the last time Ruth ever saw Angie. She never turned up for her shift the next day. But late that morning, Jared showed up.
She said that Wednesday, about 11:45, she was cutting up stuff in the kitchen, and that he came in an aggressive manner to her, then went straight and got a beer and then walked out.
Erica said that Jared looked normal, apart from his falling down pants. But chillingly, the police think Angie was already dead by this point. Based on the timeline given by Rodney and Lynn, the only chance Jared would have had to go get a beer was after killing his wife. But even this pales in comparison to the rest of the details they'll learn from Jared's parents.
What I want you to do is I want you to go back from yesterday and let's go through a timeline all the way through until today of what occurred, what you saw, and how things ended up, okay? Are you comfortable talking with me, sir?
I
Okay, demeanor and everything. That's
He's quiet. He was quiet. He's been, I don't know what the words are, but I think the word is lethargic. He just detached away.
Rodney shares that Jared has been going through a difficult time. His best friend passed away from an overdose, and out of an abundance of caution, he confiscated his gun. But he was adamant that he only ever feared Jared might hurt himself. never someone else.
It's just a quiet, it's not him.
Okay.
It was just a normal conversation.
And everything seemed normal with him at the time?
No, nothing has seemed normal with Jared since Sunday.
Okay, since the Sunday before?
Seems, yes.
Jared's mother, Lynn, broke down the details of what she thought was the last straw of Jared's downward spiral.
Something's been going on with him.
Mentally, physically?
Mentally. And this has been, I'm going to say, about a week. And I asked him, are you doing drugs? Then he'll say yes. Then he'll say no. And then, I'm not sure what day it was, a couple of nights ago, he called an ambulance on himself.
Right away, the detectives pulled the recording of the 911 call Jared made.
Waller County 911.
Yes, this is Jared Dicus.
Hello?
Yes.
Waller County, go ahead.
I did a little bit of drugs and I need help. I'm at San Francisco College Boulevard.
Okay, and what's the problem?
I just don't feel well.
Okay, and you said you took drugs?
No, ma'am. I'm completely sorry. I don't know why I called.
Okay, and are you there by yourself? Is there somebody with you?
No, ma'am. My family's here with me.
Oh, your family's with you. Okay. Okay, so you don't.
Everybody's here.
Okay, but do you need an ambulance or no? Are you good?
I need an ambulance.
I got you.
The operator assures Jared that an ambulance is on the way to him. With his status unclear, they're not taking any chances with his safety. Just minutes later, though, Jared called again.
Waller County 911, what's your emergency?
Yes, this is Jared.
Hi, Mr. Jared. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm at 206 Oak College Boulevard.
Yes, sir. We have EMS en route to you. Are you okay? Did something change?
Yes, ma'am. No, I'm not okay.
Okay, what's going on?
I did some drugs yesterday and I don't feel well. And I didn't do any drugs. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I have EMS en route to you.
Lynn says that she and Rodney were just as uncertain as the 911 operator if Jared was on drugs or not. It seems that every time they asked him, the answer changed. But the longer they waited, Lynn says, the more disturbing Jared's behavior became.
He said he was hearing voices?
Yes. And I've tried to talk to him and ask him, well, what do they say? And he wouldn't tell me. And I said, would you like me to take you somewhere so you can get help? No. He didn't want to. But he just kept, he was like in a trance. Like he would be.
Is that very unusual for you?
Yes.
Rodney has his own theory on what was going on with his son, picking up the story with how he found out Jared had called an ambulance.
Anyway, he comes into the house.
Into your house?
Into my house. He comes into the bedroom with me and the wife, and he says, I need to go to the hospital. I thought his mind was broken. I thought, when I told the hospital, is what I told the doctor. I thought he was broken.
Is there any reason besides, you said he was acting different and stuff? I mean, any known narcotics that he takes?
That was what was so strange about it. He kept saying that he was on meth. And then you would start grilling him about it, and then he would say, I'm not.
Notably, no one woke Anggy up during any of this. Rodney and Lynn said they knew she worked in the morning and didn't want to disturb her. Tragically, though, their attempt to spare her this distress might have left her entirely clueless about her husband's mental health crisis. So it's possible she had no idea the degree of danger she was in. But it gets worse, because it turns out this wasn't Jared's first mental health episode. Less than 2 weeks earlier, he'd had a similar episode, But nothing was done this time either.
Prior to that, it was 2 days after Christmas on the 27th. The night of the 26th, early 27th, my wife took him to the hospital because he was in a lot of pain. They did that's something else you need to know. There was they did blood work there. They did, and we have the results on that.
Notably, no meth was detected in Jared's system at the hospital, but he did test positive for cannabis and possibly trace amounts of cocaine. But even combined, this wouldn't explain the extent of his bizarre behavior. Tragically, these hospital visits might have been the last opportunity for intervention and time to save Angie's life. Now that they understand the grim lead-up of the past few weeks, the detectives urge Rodney to return to the timeline of last night after he and Jared finished work. Shockingly, as Rodney describes heading home with his son, he said he actually thought things were looking up.
We were just leaving the store, we were getting onto 290. What did he tell me? What did he tell me? He said, "I'll never give up again." And I said, "You're not supposed to give up."
Lynn saw Angie come home from work at 9 p.m., so she was home when Jared returned. But Lynn and Rodney didn't see any signs of life from the little house until the next morning.
I cannot say exactly when, but Jared came in. I don't know what time. It was after 1.
Okay.
Because I had asked him, did Angie get off to work? And he said yes. And then his behavior just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder.
From 1 o'clock on?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just wouldn't answer my questions. I said, Jared, what do you want? Do you need me to take you somewhere? Do you need to talk to someone? And then I just found him sitting in the bathroom on the toilet, just looking at his phone. And then he was talking to someone, and I said, well, who are you talking to? And he wouldn't, answer me.
Lynn went and woke up Rodney, concerned that Jared was having another episode. But she never could have guessed that her beloved son had already become a murderer.
And then I asked him, what does he need? He told me he needed his gun.
And what did you tell him?
Told him you're not getting that gun back right now while you're like this. I said, what do you need your gun for? And he did this. I just need it. And I said, that's it. And I went and woke his mother up and started asking her, who do we call? Okay. Do we take him to the hospital? Jared, do you want to go to a hospital? Do you want to go to a mental hospital? What do you want to do?
While Rodney tried to talk to Jared, Lynn was the one to notice a sign that something was terribly wrong. Jared was holding 2 phones, and one of them wasn't his.
Then I said, give me your phones. And he gave me both of them, and then I noticed one of them was in Spanish, and I said, well, this is Angie's phone, because I saw the picture of Jared and Angie on the phone. So I just kept asking him, why do you have Angie's phone?
When you thought she was supposed to be at work,
yes,
right?
And then it just me and my husband just right away ran outside. I don't know.
Rodney arrived at the small house first, and what he found inside would haunt him for the rest of his life.
All right. I know this part is difficult, but when you went out, both you and your wife run out there? Okay, and there's only one entrance, and that's the front, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so when you walked in there, what did you see?
I opened the door and I walked in, and you couldn't see anything, and I took a step in, and I saw her laying on the floor. And that's when I told my wife, I said, you don't want to come in here, and she came in. And I said, call 911, and I knew she wasn't going to be able to. I grabbed my phone and I started calling.
She was laying on her stomach? Yes. Okay.
There was blood everywhere. She was wearing her favorite pajama bottoms.
Okay. Did she have a top on?
Yes, she had a top on, but when I started in and I saw the pajama bottoms, it didn't quite understand that it was her. I just thought it was her clothes laying there. That's why I said the pajama bottoms are favorite pajama.
Lynn followed Rodney inside before he could spare her the gruesome experience. She noted something that he hadn't even been able to comprehend.
The injuries you saw?
I didn't see her head, but I don't know.
You didn't see her head at all?
No. But it was a quick glance, but I didn't see her hair because she has long hair. I didn't see her hair.
Rodney and Lynn didn't investigate further or discover Angie's head in the bathtub, hacked off with one of her own kitchen knives. They just raced back to the house to confront the only person who could have done this.
We ran back in the house, and I said, what have you done here? And he was already on the floor, crying.
Where, in your bedroom?
In my room.
Okay. What did he tell you?
He just said, I'm sorry. He wouldn't give me any answers, none. I'm sorry, I'm not a bad person. He wouldn't give me any answers. I don't know. I asked him why would you do that? What happened? And he would just shake his head. I don't know. I'm not a bad person. I'm sorry. That's all he would say. He was sorry. That's all he said. I don't know what happened to him, but something happened. I'm not trying to say that just for defense, but something happened within the last week.
As far as those questions that you're going to ask me about that, I can tell you right now, that's as far as I go with it. Afraid that with what I think was going on and what had happened, I was afraid, he was going to run or try to hurt somebody, or I don't know what I thought, but I just wanted some help. I wanted some help to come help me.
Armed with all the heinous details they could gather from Rodney and Lynn, as well as the couple's history, the detectives finally prepared to talk to Jared himself. He's been waiting by himself this whole time, and his hands are still taped into paper bags to preserve evidence from the scene. He hasn't said a word since they brought him in, but they hope they can convince him to fill in the remaining blanks of Angie's harrowing last moments. But they never could have braced themselves for just how eerie the following interrogation would become when Jared described the sick reason he ended his wife's life.
You want to tell me what happened?
I think it's important.
Something screaming. I was not.
What was it telling you? If something came in there, what was it telling you?
Happened. It's a matter of how and what your mindset was, what your thought process was, what caused it. Did she make you mad? What happened?
Did you love her?
Just start one step at a time. You got home from work. What time did you get home?
Jared isn't responding to questions about Angie, so they decide to try another tactic. But little do they know, Jared is about to demonstrate a prime example of his mental decline.
How do you use it? How do you ingest messages? How long have you been using it? 2.5 weeks. Why did you start it?
And Angie had no idea you were using?
Is one of those cars outside yours? Is the Challenger?
The Challenger's Jared.
The detectives can't ignore the hair-raising way Jared just referred to himself in the third person. Now, they see firsthand exactly what his parents were talking about when they said their son wasn't right. But if they want justice for Anggy, they have to keep pushing. They prompt Jared to tell them what happened when he got home from work. They hope a more structured approach will get a response, but they also want to be very careful not to lead the witness. Unfortunately, Jared isn't cooperating, but his unhelpfulness is about to reach a whole new level of disturbing.
Do you not know, or are you just refusing to answer?
I'm just refusing to answer.
Okay. Are you not going to tell us what happened?
It's not a question that you did it, the manner in which you did it, but what matters is the why. Right now, and I'm going to be frank, is your one shot to show any kind of remorse and ask for mercy. And I will tell you, the way it looks to juries, when you sit here and you stonewall and you refuse to answer, it's a lack of remorse and a lack of taking ownership. And they don't like that. Well-being in this situation after having murdered your wife. And
I
that's
just want to tell the people I'm really sorry. She didn't deserve that. Nobody ever does. Nobody deserves.
You gotta tell them why you did it.
saying I'm sorry but refusing to talk and take ownership of what you did, that's not good enough.
I just lost my way. I lost my way with God.
That's clear. We're not asking for generalities, and we're not asking about your personal relationship with God.
I didn't do it.
You can't even keep a straight face, buddy.
The detectives are horrified and startled by Jared's outburst of laughter. But, more than ever, they're determined to not let him get away with this. They have enough physical evidence to convict him, but they refuse to leave this room until they can tell Angie's family why she was met with such an awful fate. Under their increased pressure, he finally starts to cave.
Just a piece of trash you threw out.
I know.
She was sitting right next to you now. If she's just looking right at you, you're just going to say, I'm sorry? You're not going to give an explanation as to why? You're looking at her in the eye, and you can't tell her why you did this? Why?
I don't know, something that controlled me.
Okay, so it did. So it made you do what?
Something on.
What did it make you do?
On the screen. It was telling me. Okay. Telling me.
What did it tell you to do?
It would like stop time. Every time I would do something, it would stop.
Okay.
And time would stop. And then it was being forced. Like, not my free will.
Okay, forced to do what?
Forced to just walk, forced to go.
Okay. What did it force you to do to her? What did it force you to do to your wife?
It forced me.
To what?
To kill her.
Why? What did it tell you to do to her? Did it tell you how to kill her?
Yes.
So how did you kill her? Tell us how you killed her.
I don't know, because it wasn't Jared. It wasn't Jared. It was being controlled by and it was just like she was telling me to stop. And the TV, when I saw the It would make me throw up. It would make me hurt. It would make me hear a lot of blood. It would make me, I would turn the wrong way. And I'd stop going that way. It was talking to me. Information was just getting in.
Jared seems to be describing a complete break with reality. But yet again, the detectives can only anticipate that his story will only get worse. When Jared delves into the final lead up to Angie's murder, he proves their fears right.
He told me to break.
Okay, so what happened next? Did you follow through with that? Did she tell you don't do this? Stop. What did she say?
She said stop.
I'm asking you.
Man, I cut her head off. That's what it made me do.
And made you cut her head off. And what did you use to do that with? Where did you get the knife from?
It was put in my hand by her.
By her? Was the knife something that was already in your house?
Yes.
Were you fighting because you were trying to rape her, or it was afterwards? How did the fight start? How did the knife get introduced? Walk us through that.
We got into a fight. She grabbed the knife. Finally.
So you took the knife from her, or what?
Did you cut her head off while she was still alive?
An autopsy confirms everything Jared just admitted. Angie had been stabbed 6 times all over the torso and back, and her neck showed countless cut marks where Jared had hacked away to remove her head. Her head and body both showed evidence of extreme blunt force trauma as well. But Angie also had defensive wounds all over her arms and legs. She had fought back hard, even leaving her own bruises and scratches on Jared's arms and back and face. But tragically, it hadn't been enough to save her from her husband's deranged assault. Now that Jared is finally talking, the detectives hurry to get him to confirm the rest of their theories before he inevitably shuts down again.
Stabbings in her body, did you do that after you cut her head off? Or before? Her hair was wet, how come? To wash herself, or to wash her hair, or what was it?
To wash.
What are the clothes that you had on? Or were you wearing any clothes?
I wasn't wearing any clothes.
Did you have plans on hurting your mom or your dad when you went over to their house? There were no voices that told you to hurt them?
There were voices that told me to shoot myself.
To shoot yourself?
What else do you think we should know?
That it's alright. I did that on Mary's. On Mary's. She did not.
Well, thank you for telling us the truth.
With that, the detectives have everything they need to proceed with charges and give closure to Angie's family. But while Jared waits to be booked, his odd behavior continues. First, he goes to sleep on the floor. Then, when he wakes up, he does a series of squats. Eventually, a team of crime scene analysts comes to collect the rest of the evidence. They remove the bags from Jared's hands and swipe under his fingernails to collect evidence of Angie's DNA. Then, they collect his clothes and swab the rest of his body. Only once every scrap of evidence has been collected do they escort him down the hall to start the booking process. In the room next door, Rodney has no idea that his son is walking past him on the way to prison, where he will likely spend the rest of his life. He leaves the detectives who came to check on him with some final, heartbreaking thoughts.
My whole family's broken. I don't know. I just don't think I'm a very good person. It can't be. I don't know what to do anymore. Now. She didn't deserve to be taken away like this. I truly believe that. He's gonna try to hurt himself. I don't know that you can stop somebody from hurting themselves. I know that. I don't believe it's possible. I just want y'all to know that I believe he's gonna do it.
Chillingly, Rodney was right. In 2024, Jared pleaded guilty to Angie's brutal murder and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. It was determined he acted alone, and none of his family members were involved. He would have been eligible for parole in 2043, but on the morning of January 16, 2026, almost 3 years to the day since Angie's heinous death, prison guards discovered Jared had ended his life in his cell overnight.